Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about our morning basket and everything that I've got in it. I've been meaning to film this for a very long time, and we finally sort of settled into a good rhythm with it, and it has all of the things that we actually use on a day-to-day basis. So I thought now would be a good time to film this. If you're not familiar with a morning basket, it's basically what we reach for first thing in the morning or whenever we get our morning rhythm started, and it's basically most of the things in here are non-negotiables. So they're things that we have to get through every day, things that are, even if we don't get anything else done, I really want to get everything within this basket, get through everything within this basket at the very least. So I'll take you through it. First of all, the basket is from the range. I'm not sure if they still have it, but if they do, I will link it in the description box below. I will link everything that I talk about in the description box below. And it's a really nice rattan wire one. I didn't want to get a plastic one, so I'm quite happy I found this. I like it because if you have like really taller books, it fits them quite nicely. So in the basket we've got only a couple of things. It's not as full as some other baskets that you might have seen, but it's what works for us. And just in case it helps, I have a almost 5-year-old and a 6-year-old, so everything that I have here is obviously tailored to them. Some of the first things that we get through are Quran and Hadith time. So the way that we work through this is I'm just going to take out the books that I'll talk to you about at the beginning. We usually start with Quran first, and we go through our Qa'idah. We also look at the surah in their Juz Amma book, even though they cannot read from this. I find it's really nice to have them have their own copy of the Quran. We go through our vowel cards. These are by the 6 cards. I also highly recommend her book, which is about how to teach your children Quran. It's incredibly motivational. And then we also go through our first Quran in pictures, which is such an engaging book for children, really. They absolutely love it. It just makes the surahs come alive for them in a way that is especially for children for whom Arabic isn't a first language. This has just been such a help to our Quran journey. If I ever get sort of which happens, I get resistance from the children about starting with Quran, I usually just point them to this here, not there, and then we carry on. So basically we will go through our Qa'idah here, so that it starts obviously with the alphabets, and then it goes on to reading words and various vowels and joining, and then on to reading sentences. Yep, so here you go. So on to reading sentences, and then it's also got some tajweed rules as well. It's really affordable, and I will link it down below as well. And then we will go over, after we've done this and our cards, we go over whatever surah they are working on that day. We usually will be memorizing one surah at a time, so we will go over that surah, the meaning of it as well, because that's quite important, and this really helps with that as well. And then we go over revision of all of the surahs that they know as well. So we go over al-Qa'idah, vowel cards, revision of all of the surahs that they already know, and then memorization of one additional ayah. After Quran, we will work through one hadith from this book, 365 hadith with stories. Usually on Sunday night or the week before, I work on page flagging 7 of them to go through, so that I'm not kind of thumbing through. I don't go in order, simply because I find that they cover different things, and depending on what's going on in our home or what I want to focus on with the children or talk to them about, the hadiths can be really, they can supplement that. So I pick what works for us. Like this, for example, I've page flagged for today, Friday, and this is to do with Friday. I have page flagged other ones to do with This, for example, I will bring up when I know that they're flagging as far as Quran reading is concerned, or they're getting a bit, bored, or just need a bit of motivation, things like that. So I will just pick whatever is relevant, and we will read from that. And then whilst I am working with my son on his Quran, which sometimes takes longer because obviously he's memorizing more than my daughter is. She can work through she can work through this alphabet workbook. This one is by Alif to Ya, and it basically includes as well a Quranic ayah where the word is shown, and then it shows you the alphabet in different stages, and it's a wipe clean book. So she really loves writing in the wipe clean book, so that helps to keep her occupied whilst we're doing that. And then we will as far as, we also try to include a game every day. So I will, at the moment we're doing a lot of Arabic, so we're working through this game quite a bit. It's got the alphabet on one side and then a word on the other side. So there's many ways that you can do it. It says 10 ways to play, and they give you suggestions for how you can play the game inside as well. So I'm working on this. It helps for my youngest. It's helping with recognition of the alphabets and remembering the alphabets out of order, which is so important because sometimes they know this in order, but what is important is to remember the alphabets out of order, because obviously they don't appear in order in the Quran or in words and things like that. So that's helping her with that. And for my son, it's helping with just the pronunciation, because there's some words that he needs to work on, some letters that he needs to work on the pronunciation for as well. So our basket is quite heavily Arabic Quran focused. We also work on one Quran word. This is from a pack called Quran Words by Fitra Learning, and one mindful exercise from Mini Mindful Muslims. This is also from a pack of flashcards. I believe there's 25 of these, and I believe that there's 30 of these. So I picked spider because my youngest is just kind of obsessed with spiders at the moment. She's scared of them and all of this. So I picked Ankabut, and we are going to work through, just talk about basically spiders and how fragile they are. This is what I want to emphasize to her, that really I'm fairly sure spiders are more afraid of us than we are of them. And it's just a really nice way, again, to work in Quran and Arabic words into conversation with children. Also good to practice reading, because they're very basic. You've just got fatha and dhamma vowels there that they can practice reading the words themselves as well. And then we try to do a mindfulness exercise. This doesn't always happen, but I try to just switch it out so it's there. And today we're having a really, really clear day. So I know I want to take the kids out into the garden a bit later on and do some stuff outside. So we want to work through this one. I really like the pack because it's got 3 different colors for 3 different areas: calm, focus, and positivity. And then when we have weeks where there's just been loads of bickering and arguing and things like that, I reach for the positivity and happiness ones. So I really, these ones are very, very useful to have. If you can't afford shipping from the UK, they do have printable version, so you can always get the printable version as well. And then as far as read alouds are concerned, we are currently working through this Booktime book of fantastic first poems. Very simple kind of basic poems that sometimes my son will just read this himself whilst I'm working with my daughter on Quran and Arabic. And then this is the other book that we are currently looking through as well at the moment. This is a series of 4 books. I wish I bought the others. From Cube Publishing, and it's the I Wonder series, and they have I Wonder About Allah, book 1, book 2, I Wonder About the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then I Wonder About the Quran. And they basically answer questions like this that my son is having a lot of. So I will basically pick and read from that. And I will switch this out depending on what is going on and what the children are focused on at the time, or what they have questions about. And then, since we are working on our 99 names project in the lead up to Ramadan, we also are working on one name a day, and this doesn't really fit into our morning time, so this comes a bit later, but I just thought I would mention it in case any of you want to incorporate this as well. We are using the 99 Names of God Contemplation cards. I got mine from W.H. Smith. Yes, they do sell this. I just bought it online and arranged for a free click and collect. You can just have it shipped to you if you want. But they go over the name, how you pronounce it, and then there's an activity and also an explanation of the name as well. And they're working on scrapbooking this. So we write it out and then they color it, or just decorate it in some way, and then we write out the meaning and everything. So we're doing one of these a day in the lead up to Ramadan. That is basically everything that we get through in our morning basket. Inshallah, I hope that has been of help. Again, I will leave all of the links in the description box below, but if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Salam.